John Candy, known for his warmth and larger-than-life screen presence, was a versatile actor and comedian who became a beloved figure in Hollywood through iconic roles in films like Canadian Bacon and Summer Rental. Apart from his acting career, Candy was passionate about sports, particularly Canadian football. In 1991, this passion led him to co-own the Canadian Football League team, the Toronto Argonauts, along with hockey legend Wayne Gretzky and businessman Bruce McNall. Under their ownership, the Argonauts won the Grey Cup Championship in 1991, highlighting a successful period in the team's history.
All the guys are saying it's going to be a blowout, it's going to be a blowout, and you think, well, it sounds great, but in actual fact...
You hit that subscribe button, smash like, and drop your thoughts in the comments below.
Hey, I'm Bob McKenzie, this is my brother Doug. How's it going, eh? Welcome to our movie, eh?
Rick Moranis, best known for films like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Ghostbusters, and Big Bully, not only starred in the 1983 comedy film Strange Brew, he also co-directed. The film features Moranis as Bob McKenzie, one of the two Canadian brothers who find themselves embroiled in a bizarre plot involving a large brewery and mind-controlled hockey players. Strange Brew is based on characters Moranis and his co-star Dave Thomas developed for the Canadian sketch comedy show SCTV. The characters, Bob and Doug McKenzie, became cult favorites for their humorous portrayal of Canadian stereotypes, particularly their love of beer and their distinctive Canadian accents. The film, with its mix of slapstick humor and satire, not only showcased Moranis' comedic talent, but also became a cult classic. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash like, and drop your thoughts in the comments below.
For my part, I just think it's very depressing summer reading.
In 1984, investigative journalist Bob Woodward was tasked by John's widow to write a book detailing John's life and death. The final product, Wired, the short life and fast times of John Belushi, was seen a polarizing and dark misrepresentation of the man. Met with harsh criticism, the book was discredited by friends and family involved, who felt betrayed by the prize-winning journalist. Critics and readers noted that the book focused heavily on Belushi's drug abuse and the circumstances leading to his death, at the expense of exploring the depth of his talent and contributions to comedy and entertainment.
He certainly has avoided the issue of what a fun bag John was, what a great guy he was, what a warm, humorous, really, concerned and bright, educated, well-read individual this guy wasn't.
Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment for more. The Blues Brothers animated series was an attempt to continue the legacy of the original Blues Brothers. The project involved the voice talents of Peter Aykroyd and Jim Belushi, the respective brothers of the original Blues Brothers. The series was planned in the mid-1990s, with a production company called Film Roman, which also worked on shows like The Simpsons. It was intended to showcase the further adventures of Jake and Elwood Blues, bringing their music and antics to a potentially new audience of younger viewers. However, the Blues Brothers animated series encountered various obstacles and delays in production and distribution. As a result, the series was never broadcast on television and didn't make it past the development phase to reach a wide audience. Only a few promotional clips and episodes were produced to pitch the series to networks. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment for more.
Can I say something to all the people who thought I was a loser, Jeff?
John Candy was initially considered for a role in Ghostbusters, specifically to play the character of Louis Tully, which eventually went to Rick Moranis. However, Candy's involvement with the film didn't materialize due to creative differences regarding the portrayal of the character. Notably, Candy wanted to play the character with a German accent and be accompanied by two Doberman pinschers. While he didn't end up appearing in Ghostbusters, Candy had a successful career in comedy and acting, known for his roles in films such as Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Uncle Buck, and Spaceballs. His comedic talent and affable persona left a lasting impact on his audiences, and he remains fondly remembered as one of the greats of comedy cinema. Hit that subscribe button, smash like, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. John Belushi isn't the only one that almost had a role in Ghostbusters. Eddie Murphy was originally considered for a role in the iconic 1984 film. The role in question was that of Winston Zeddemore, which eventually went to actor Ernie Hudson.
This is Winston Zeddemore. He's here about the job.
Beautiful, you're hired. Ray Stantz, Pete Venkman.
Congratulations.
However, Murphy turned down the role to star in another film, Beverly Hills Cop. This decision proved to be a wise one, as Beverly Hills Cop became a massive success and further solidified Murphy's status as a leading comedic actor of his time. Despite not being a part of the Ghostbusters franchise, Eddie Murphy's career continued to flourish, and he remains a prominent figure in Hollywood to this day.
Did you see this shit?
Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment for more. Spies Like Us, a 1985 American comedy film directed by John Landis and starring Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd, has a notable connection to John Belushi. Initially, Aykroyd developed the screenplay with the intention of starring alongside Belushi. Besides being close friends, the two actors had previously collaborated on Saturday Night Live and multiple films. It was Aykroyd and Belushi's chemistry and comedic timing that had been a driving force behind their success. Spies Like Us was initially envisioned as a vehicle to further showcase their duo. However, John Belushi's tragic death in 1982 prevented this plan from coming to fruition. The role opposite Aykroyd was recast with Chevy Chase taking the part. Despite Belushi's absence, the film went on to become a significant part of the 1980s comedy landscape. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment for more. Although John Belushi did not directly participate in Ghostbusters, as he passed away 2 years before its release, his influence on the character of Slimer is a notable aspect of the film's legacy. Dan Aykroyd, creator of Ghostbusters, envisioned Slimer as a kind of tribute to his late friend, describing Slimer as the ghost of John Belushi, embodying Belushi's larger-than-life personality and appetites. Though the character's design wasn't meant to physically resemble Belushi, the spirit's gluttonous behavior mirrors Belushi's boisterous and excessive nature. There is no doubt Belushi's spirit and personality traits inspired Slimer's creation. Slimer's mischievous and voracious character reflects the energy and humor that Belushi brought to his performances, making Slimer a lasting homage to the beloved comedian. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment for more. At the time of Belushi's death, Dan Aykroyd had been working on multiple new projects for himself and Belushi to star. He would even use these projects in an attempt to lure Belushi back from California in the days before Belushi's death. One of those projects was none other than Ghostbusters. Aykroyd originally envisioned the film with Belushi in mind for the leading role of Dr. Peter Venkman, aiming to capitalize on Belushi's comedic skill and charisma. However, Belushi's untimely death in 1982 necessitated a rethink of the project. Bill Murray ultimately stepped into the Venkman role, bringing his own distinctive comedic deadpan style. While Murray's portrayal became iconic, Belushi's intended involvement remains an interesting what-if in film history. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment for more. The character of John McClane, famously portrayed by Bruce Willis in Die Hard, was originally introduced in the novel Nothing Lasts Forever by Roderick Thorpe. This novel is a sequel to Thorpe's earlier book, The Detective, which was adapted into a film in 1968, starring Frank Sinatra as the main character, Joe Leland.
Nestor, you're a miserable son of a bitch.
When it came time to adapt Nothing Lasts Forever into a movie, which would eventually become Die Hard, the role of its protagonist, reimagined as John McClane, was contractually offered to Frank Sinatra due to his portrayal of Joe Leland. Sinatra, who was 73 at the time, turned down the role, leading to the casting of Bruce Willis and the birth of one of cinema's most iconic action heroes.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Want more? Make sure to smash that subscribe button, click like, and leave a comment below. Lethal Weapon, a franchise retrospective. Fast fact. Now sure, certainly, in the true classic Lethal Weapon style, the final confrontation is kind of intense. It is personal, and it's laced with both action and emotional resonance, but it feels just muted and lazy. with odd choices and strange pacing. Still, Lethal Weapon 3 weaves together the series' signature elements: unyielding action, sharp humor, and the undeniable chemistry between Riggs and Murtaugh. It's a roller coaster ride through the streets of Los Angeles, where the line between right and wrong is blurred, but the bond between two cops remains unbreakable. Fan of Lethal Weapon 3? Make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash like, and drop your thoughts in the comments below.
That's great, thank you. Well, you know what I say?
Lethal Weapon, a franchise retrospective. Fast fact: the Lethal Weapon franchise is memorable for introducing new characters in each installment, but there is one specific casting choice in Lethal Weapon 4 that is notable.
Hey, who's he? Hey, well, he doesn't look too happy. What's his name? Who is he? Who's this guy? Is he just appraising your furniture or what?
Jet Li made his Hollywood debut in Lethal Weapon 4, playing the role of Wasing Ku as a skilled martial artist and enforcer of the Chinese triads. It was notable for showcasing Li's impressive martial arts abilities while also performing his own stunts. His performance was highly praised and helped establish him as a formidable action star in Hollywood. Fan of Lethal Weapon 4? Make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash like, and drop your thoughts in the comments below.
In Hong Kong, you would be dead.
Last Man Standing, starring Bruce Willis, is a 1996 action film directed by Walter Hill. It has a fascinating connection to A Fistful of Dollars, directed by Sergio Leone, and even further back to Akira Kurosawa's Yojimbo. All three movies share a similar plot. A lone stranger comes to a town controlled by two feuding factions and plays them against each other for his own benefit. A Fistful of Dollars is essentially a Western remake of Yojimbo, while Last Man Standing transports the story to the Prohibition era in the United States, with Willis's character employing his gunfighting skills amidst gang warfare.
You'll have to kill me. It'll hurt if I do.
Want more? Make sure to smash that subscribe button, click like, and leave a comment below. And remember,
Nothing personal.
this is a quick clip Z.Reviews Lethal Weapon, a franchise retrospective. Fun fact: Lethal Weapon 2 kicks off with Riggs and Murtaugh inadvertently stumbling upon a massive drug smuggling operation while chasing down a suspect. This operation is led by Arjun Rudd, a South African diplomat played with icy villainy by Joss Ackland. Rudd uses his diplomatic immunity as a shield against prosecution, complicating the detective's efforts to bring him to justice.
Under the Diplomatic Relations Act, no diplomatic agent may be detained or arrested once his identity has been established.
Fan of Lethal Weapon 2? Make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash like, and drop your thoughts in the comments below.
Diplomatic community.
I wasn't after it. I was apparently when they first started, I was already doing the same, and I was on the short list. Apparently, it was Pat McGowan and Sean, and myself. Then when Sean departed, they asked me to do it. I think we have injected a little more humour.
Yeah, it seems to me to be more and more for laughs, and more enormous effects.
Well, I think you see, Bond films are so outrageous, the stunts are so outrageous, everything is, beyond belief. I mean, there is no such thing as a spy who can walk anywhere in the world and every bartender recognizes him and says, Mr. Bond, vodka martini shaker, not served. Rick, spies aren't like that, are they? Sort of unknown faces that would pass in a crowd and not be noticed. Real spies. So you might be good for the part. No, anyway.
Remember to comment, rate, subscribe, maybe hit that little notification bell. I really appreciate it.
Here's a piece of nonsense. Here's a man who puts a seagull on top of his head to swim, and he jumps in, and then he sets in, and then he strips off, and he's wearing a denim jacket, and he's also got a carnation, and then at times, the clock goes off, and he goes to see his girlfriend, and he sees a reflection in her eye of a villain.
That's such a great shot.
And he tosses a villain in the bath and electrocutes him, and if you take that seriously, you need your heads examined. What I'm trying to say is that if you enjoyed that and laughed and thought it was fun,
be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below.
But till we got to the end, and the credits didn't seem to end, and I had to hold this note. He loves gold! The credits are going, the credits are going. At the end, I nearly passed out. And
the song would go on to reach number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart in the US, and number 21 in the UK singles chart. But it was the legacy that set the template for future Bond themes, combining bold orchestration with sultry vocals. And of course, as we all know, Bassey would return for another theme in the James Bond universe.
Diamonds are forever.
Remember to comment, rate, subscribe, maybe hit that little notification bell. I really appreciate it. There was, of course, production challenges, and a few interesting facts or myths. One being the gold paint myth. One of the most enduring myths associated with Goldfinger is the belief that actress Shirley Eaton, who played Jill Masterson, died during filming due to skin suffocation from being covered in gold paint. Eaton was unharmed, of course, in reality. Precautions were taken to leave a small area of skin unpainted, but this was more for comfort than necessity. The myth added to the film's mystique and became part of Hollywood lore.
It was very, very hot. It was very uncomfortable. But I had it all down the front here because the shot was lying down, which the whole middle part was not painted gold.
Remember to comment, rate, subscribe, maybe hit that little notification bell. I really appreciate it.
Evening 006. Evening 008. What's new? I'm fed up with 007, that's what's new. He's back in action and he's got the best assignment again. The Goldfinger case. You'd think James Bond would take it easy after tangling with Smershon from Russia with Love. Where does he get his energy? Always mixing thrills and girls, excitement and girls, danger. I know. And girls. Look, maybe Goldfinger will nail him this time. Well, nobody's been able to do it yet. Yeah, but Goldfinger is really evil. He's got a personal bodyguard who's the world's greatest karate killer. And he's got the world's most beautiful man killer. Why, he's got secret weapons he hasn't even used yet. With all he's got going for him, how can Goldfinger miss? You know what, 008? I think we're gonna get an assignment soon. See Sean Connery as Agent 007 in Ian Fleming's Goldfinger, a United Artists release in Technicolor.
Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below. Goldfinger also influenced a wave of spy-themed media in the 1960s, and established tropes that became standard in action and adventure movies.
At a time convenient to you, can be remotely activated, primed, lethal.
And what about these? What do these do? Electrocute you.
Don't be ridiculous. It's a hand grenade.
Shut up.
You want to electrocute someone, you'll need a signet ring. A gentleman traditionally wears the signet on his left hand, but a Kingsman wears it on whichever hand happens to be dominant. Touch the contact behind the ring, it delivers 50,000 volts.
Goldfinger remains a cornerstone of the James Bond franchise. Its successful blend of action, style, humor, and innovation not only entertained audiences at the time, but also influenced filmmakers for generations. As we celebrate its 60th anniversary, we recognize that Goldfinger was more than just a film. It was a cultural event, one that captured the imagination of audiences worldwide. Its legacy is evident in the continued popularity of the James Bond series, the enduring appeal of its characters, and the countless homages and parodies that it has inspired.
Welcome to 1975, Austin Powers and Forja.
Sure, do you expect me to talk?
I don't expect anything from you except to die and be a very cheap funeral. Nice work, Homer!
Revisiting Goldfinger today, we can appreciate how it has set the standard for the action and spy film genre. Combining thrilling storytelling with memorable performances and groundbreaking production values, It serves as a testament to the creativity and vision of its creators, and a reminder of the timeless allure of James Bond.
Now, incidentally, that's not Fort Knox. It's a film set here, Goldfinger in Buckinghamshire, Pinewood.
In the United States, exterior shots were taken near the actual Fort Knox, in Kentucky, but due to security restrictions, the interior was recreated at Pinewood. Moving on out of England, there was Switzerland, where Furka Pass was seen in Bond's pursuit of Tilly Masterson along the winding mountain roads, showcasing the Aston Martin DB5's capabilities. And as far as exterior shots of Goldfinger's factory, well, that was shot at Andermatt. And then, of course, there was Miami Beach, used for the opening scenes set at the Fontainebleau Hotel, though most of Connery's scenes were filmed at Pinewood Studios.
Miss?
Hey, would you... That's Mr. Goldfinger's suite.
Yes, I know. You're very sweet.
Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below.
You'll be using this Aston Martin DB5 with modifications. Now, pay attention, please.
Goldfinger also marked the debut of the Aston Martin DB5, which became an integral part of the James Bond legacy. Equipped with gadgets by Q Branch, the car featured an ejector seat, machine guns, bulletproof shield, oil slick dispenser, smoke screen, and revolving number plates. These gadgets captivated audiences and became a hallmark for the Bond series. The Aston Martin DB5 itself became a star, with replicas and toys becoming highly sought after in the years to come.
You'll find a little red button. Whatever you do, don't touch it.
No, why not?
Because you'll release this section of the roof and engage and fire the passenger ejector seat. Whoosh.
Ejector seat, you're joking.
I never joke about my work, 007.
Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below.
The special effects people got a sheet of metal and they cut it in half and then they welded it together back again. And then they painted the whole lot. And James Bond is tied on the thing, and I say action, and the two special effects men, one is underneath with a torch, and the other one's got a blowtorch. And you can see the weld, so they're lying there, and I wait till nothing happens for a bit, and there's Sean sitting up having a look. And eventually the blowtorch works and the weld starts to melt, and I said, that's good, a bit quicker, and Sean is now beginning to get, and you talk about sweat, that was real sweat.
Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below. The film was also notable for its incorporation of cutting-edge technology for the time, both within the story and in its production. The scene where Bond is nearly cut in half by a laser beam was groundbreaking. The special effects team used a combination of practical effects and post-production enhancements, all to create the laser beam, which was a relatively new technology at the time.
We had somebody in the Pentagon who was leaking secrets of whatever the latest American toys were. And he said, there's a laser beam. And Harry Saltzman sent for me and said, there's a laser beam here. And so I said, what's a laser beam, Harry? And he said, well, it's like a light, but you can go on the moon. You know, you can sit on the moon. And I thought, very interesting, but with what object? And nobody knew what lasers were or what they were for. I mean, all this medical thing didn't exist in those days.
Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below. By the time Goldfinger entered production, Sean Connery had become synonymous with James Bond. His portrayal of the character in the first two films had been praised for its blend of charm, toughness, and sophistication. For Goldfinger, Connery sought to further and refine the character, incorporating Hamilton's vision of a more human and relatable Bond.
This is your third James Bond picture. I'm sure that as far as picture goers are concerned, you could see more and more, but how do you feel about this yourself?
Oh, I think it's splendid. I think it's very good entertainment. They obviously like it, and one every 14 months is sort of a good, healthy issue.
Connery worked closely with Hamilton to explore Bond's vulnerabilities and inject subtle humor into his performance. His rapport with the other cast members, particularly Honor Blackman, The chemistry between Blackman and Connery was palpable. Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below. Screenwriter Richard Maibaum, who had worked on the scripts for the first 2 Bond films, returned to adapt Goldfinger. Maibaum was known for his ability to translate Fleming's novels into compelling screenplays that captured the essence of Bond while making necessary adjustments for the film's audiences. Joining him was Paul Den, an accomplished writer known for his work on films such as 1950's 7 Days to Noon. Together, Maibaum and Den faced the challenge of condensing Fleming's complex novel into a 2-hour film while enhancing the cinematic appeal. They made strategic changes to the plot to increase tension and excitement. They also focused on developing the supporting characters, giving them more depth and screen presence. Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below. Ken Adam, the production designer for Goldfinger, was instrumental in creating the visual style that became synonymous with the James Bond series. His bold and innovative design provided a visual feast that enhanced the storytelling. For instance, the interior of Fort Knox. Since the real Fort Knox was off limits, Adam had creative freedom to design the Gold Vault. He conceived it as a vast, multi-level structure, filled with gold bars stacked on towering shelves. The set was constructed at Pinewood Studios. And then there was Goldfinger's estate. Adam's designs for Goldfinger's estate and the opulent settings throughout the film emphasized the villain's obsession with wealth and luxury.
You can't easily say that if it had been somebody else and not Ken Adam, it would have been unique. It's his vision that really created the world in which Bond lives.
Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below. Hamilton's approach was to balance suspense and action with wit and irony, creating a tone that would appeal to the broader audience. He also saw an opportunity to expand the scale of the film, incorporating more elaborate set pieces, groundbreaking special effects, and a heightened sense of style.
Important elements of Bond, sex, action, and a sense of humour, which is so important. Spielberg has said it was his favourite Bond film of all time. I'm wondering how much of the wry humour in Goldfinger came from you?
Well, I couldn't take James Bond seriously. And it seemed to me that the pre-credit sequence was absolutely vital for my way of thinking, because...
Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below. Honor Blackman was already a well-known actress in the UK, particularly for her role as Kathy Gale in the popular television series The Avengers. At 38, she brought a mature and commanding presence to the role of Pussy Galore, breaking the mold for the typical young and naive female leads of the franchise.
It didn't occur to me at all at the time, no. I mean, it was a part one played, a part one enjoyed, one new guy, one liked guy, one had fun on the film. And I wasn't really shaken by this character till I went on a promotion tour of the States with the picture. And hardly any of the interviewers would call me by my character name. They said, how do you feel about playing a character with this name? And don't you find it rather distasteful and all this? And I really took it so seriously, you know.
Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below. Goldfinger follows James Bond as he uncovers and attempts to thwart Aorc Goldfinger's plan to destabilize the world economy by contaminating the United States gold supply. While the film stays true to the essence of Fleming's novel, several key changes were made. Most notably, Goldfinger's scheme. In the novel, Goldfinger's plans were to rob Fort Knox with the help of American gangsters. In the film, the plot is altered to involve detonating a nuclear device so that it can eradicate the gold supply, making it unusable and increasing the value of his own reserves. And then of course there was the character development. In the book, Pussy Galore leads a group of cat burglars called the Cement Mixers. In the film, she's reimagined as the leader of an all-female flying circus. And of course the tone of the film is a lot more humorous, with gadgetry used throughout, whereas the book maintains a more serious tone focused on espionage. Be Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below. Harold Sakata, a former Olympic weightlifter, who won a silver medal for the United States in the 1948 London Olympics, was cast as Oddjob, Goldfinger's silent but deadly henchman. Sakata's imposing physique and ability to convey menace without dialogue made Oddjob one of the most memorable and iconic villain henchmen in the series.
Oh, you must excuse Oddjob, Mr. Bond. He's an admirable manservant, but mute. He's not a very good caddy.
I suppose, Harold Sakata, that the thing people remember you most for is Oddjob, and after that, then, the Vicks Formula 44 commercials.
Right.
Do you find that this is the way it works?
Well, I find not only it works, but I find it's very beautiful. It brings me good life.
Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below.
Do you expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
The casting of Aork Goldfinger was critical. German actor Gert Frobe was recommended based on his prior performances in European films. Frobe's imposing stature and commanding presence made him an ideal choice for Goldfinger. Despite his limited English, Frobe worked diligently to learn his lines phonetically, allowing him to focus on his performance. Frobe conveyed the character's menace and charisma through expressive acting. His lines would later be dubbed by British actor Michael Collins.
But it wasn't my performance, it was Gert Frobe's performance. Let's say it's like a crossword puzzle. Mr. Frobe had all the answers, he knew all the answers, produced them pretty well, but his vocal pencil was blunt and I just went in and outlined what he said.
Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below.
I knew George had been very depressed, fighting it all, and it was my belief that George had committed suicide. I know that it's everybody else's belief that he was murdered, but it was my belief that he committed suicide. And though he was going to shoot 26 more shows, I wasn't here. I don't know. I shouldn't even be talking about that. But it's turned out to be one of the major news story, unsolved mysteries of all time.
Over the years, though, numerous books, documentaries, and articles have been written that explore the various theories and evidence that suggest foul play. George Reeves' legacy is a complicated one. For many fans, he will always be remembered as the quintessential Superman of his era, a figure of strength and hope who brought joy to millions of viewers during his time on the adventures of Superman. Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below. And so it was, on the night of June 16, 1959, just days before he was set to marry Lenora, George Reeves was found dead in the upstairs bedroom of his Benedict Canyon home in Los Angeles. He had been shot in the head with a .30 caliber Luger pistol. Reeves was 45 years old. The official ruling was suicide. According to police reports, Reeves had been upstairs in his bedroom when a gunshot rang out. Lemon and several friends who were downstairs reportedly rushed to the room, only to find Reeves dead with a gunshot wound to his head. There were no immediate signs of foul play, and the case was closed as a self-inflicted death. However, almost immediately, questions arose about the circumstances of Reeves' death. Several factors made many people doubt the official suicide ruling, and theories of murder began to circulate. Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below. Some believe that Tony, distraught over being cast aside by Reeves in favor of Lemon, may have been involved in his death. Others suggest that Eddie Mannix, who was known to have ties to organized crime, may have had something to do with it, either out of jealousy or to protect his wife. Though Eddie Mannix was reportedly not upset by his wife's affair with Reeves, some speculate that he may have taken action to retaliate after Reeves left Tony. Another detail that has fueled suspicion is the fact that there were reportedly multiple bullet holes found in the room where Reeves died. While only one shot was fired into his head, other bullet holes were found in the floor and walls, leading some to wonder if a struggle or confrontation had occurred before Reeves was shot. Reeves' own state of mind has also been called into question. While he had expressed frustration with his stalled career, many of his friends and colleagues had said that he had been in good spirits in the weeks leading up to his death. Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below. Reeves' first break came in 1939, when he was cast in one of the most famous films of all time, Gone with the Wind. He played the role of Stuart Tarleton, one of Scarlett O'Hara's many suitors. And while the role was small, being part of such a landmark production boosted his visibility. Despite his part in Gone with the Wind, Reeves found it difficult to secure consistent work in Hollywood. Throughout the 1940s, he appeared in several B movies and small roles throughout the decade, but fame and success remained elusive. Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below. Reeves' life and career took a dramatic turn in 1951, when he was cast in the title role of Superman in the television series
The Adventures of Superman. Faster than a speeding bullet.
The series was based on the popular DC Comics character, and it initially seemed just like another job for Reeves, who was hesitant about taking on the role. In fact, Reeves reportedly looked down on the role of Superman, considering it beneath his capabilities as an actor. At the time, television was still seen as a lesser medium compared to film, and playing a character from comic books wasn't exactly prestigious work. However, The Adventures of Superman quickly became a hit. Reeves' portrayal of both Superman and his alter ego, Clark Kent, and he soon became a beloved figure to children across America. Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below. Prior to 2024's Beetlejuice, there was a long gestating sequel in the works. Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian was a concept for a sequel to Tim Burton's 1988 hit Beetlejuice. The idea, conceived in the early 1990s, was a strange and whimsical follow-up where the Dietz family, who survived the first film, moved to Hawaii. The plot would involve the family trying to develop a resort on an island, only to discover that it was inhabited by ancient spirits. Naturally, Beetlejuice would get involved in the chaos. However, Tim Burton ultimately shifted his focus to other projects, namely Batman Returns.
So I got called in for a meeting at Warner Brothers, and they said there's a couple of projects that you can rewrite. Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian. To which I was like, really, didn't we say all we needed to say with the first Beetlejuice? Must we go tropical?
Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below. When Tim Burton was in the early stages of developing Beetlejuice, he had a vision for the title character that was quite different from what ultimately appeared on screen. His initial choice for the role of the mischievous and eccentric ghost with the most was the legendary entertainer Sammy Davis Jr. At the time, Davis was an icon, known for his roles in the Rat Pack, his incredible singing and dancing talents, and his larger-than-life personality. Burton, a fan of Davis's work, thought his charisma and showbiz charm could add an offbeat, surreal quality to the character. Warner Brother executives were not keen on the idea of casting an older, more traditional entertainer like Davis. The studio pushed for a fresher, more unconventional choice, and eventually Michael Keaton was brought on board.
The reaction when I said that I wanted Sammy Davis Jr. to play Beetlejuice.
Actually, I can sort of see that.
Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below.
People think he didn't die.
That's right. Kaufman sought out alternative treatments, including a trip to the Philippines for psychic surgery, controversial and now discredited procedure in which practitioners claim to remove tumors using their bare hands. Kaufman's decision to undergo this treatment, despite its dubious nature, was in keeping with his lifelong fascination with the unconventional and the strange. On May 16, 1984, Andy Kaufman died at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles, California. The official cause of death was kidney failure, resulting from metastasized lung cancer. His death was met with disbelief and sorrow, particularly because so many people were unaware of his illness. Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below.
If he could fool you long enough to think about it, to believe something, which is really what actors do, then he wins.
Kaufman's life and work were a challenge to conventions of comedy and performance. In the end, he left the world with one final unresolved question. Was it all just a performance? That question continues to captivate audiences, and it might just be Kaufman's most brilliant prank of all. By leaving the world uncertain, he ensured that his influence would continue, making people laugh, think, and wonder long after his supposed death. And that could very well be Andy Kaufman's greatest prank.
I don't really have anything. So anyway, if anybody could, I know this
Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below. Clifton was presented as a completely separate individual from Kaufman, so much so that many people, including some of the Taxi cast and crew, believed he was a real person. Clifton's abrasive behavior often caused tension on the set, leading to Kaufman's eventual decision to drop the character from the show. Nevertheless, the persona of Tony Clifton became a key part of Kaufman's legacy, embodying his commitment to performance and performance art that defied conventional boundaries.
Is Tony gonna show up tonight?
Tony?
Clifton. Shit. Well, that must be one of Tony's fans.
How do you know him?
Well, I know that Tony Clifton shows up once in a while where you're performing.
Yes, well, there's this rumor going around town that I'm him.
Everybody says you
I know, and so they, all of a sudden in all the papers it said Andy Kaufman went on the Dinah Shore show. And
Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below. Andy Kaufman's entire career was about making people question reality, about pushing the boundaries of what was considered comedy, and about leaving audiences in a state of confusion, wonder, and sometimes discomfort. Whether or not Andy Kaufman faked his death is almost irrelevant. The greatest prank he ever pulled might not have been fooling the world into thinking he was dead, but rather convincing people that he was capable of doing so. In making his audience question the authenticity of his death, Kaufman ensured that his legacy would be one of enduring mystery and intrigue. For years after his death, he would be talked about. A film would even be made about him, starring Jim Carrey.
I want to be the biggest star in the world. Your act is like amateur hour.
I'm not like everybody else.
I really like what you did out there.
I'm not a comedian. I don't want to go for
Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below. After graduating from Great Neck North High School in 1967, Kaufman took a year off before enrolling at Graham Junior College in Boston. There he studied television production. It was at this time that he starred in his own campus television show, Uncle Andy's Funhouse, which provided an early glimpse to his unique style of humor, blurring the lines between reality and performance. In August of 1969, Andy hitchhiked to Las Vegas in an attempt to meet Elvis Presley, a figure who would later become central to his act. This encounter, and his time performing in coffee houses, as well as small clubs on the East Coast, shaped the development of his comedic style, which was always more about the performance than the punchline.
We're recording, and if you'd like to say a few things, we're ready.
Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below. The production of The Crow began in early 1993. Directed by Alex Proyas, the set was designed to reflect a gothic, rain-soaked urban landscape, adding to the film's eerie ambience. Despite the excitement surrounding the project, the production faced numerous challenges. Yet Brandon stayed dedicated to the film. He immersed himself in the role of Eric Draven. His dedication was evident in his physical preparation. and his deep connection to the character's emotional journey.
The interesting thing about this character to me is that you're dealing with a guy who's literally been pushed to the limits of his own sanity, you know. And I think that something of the persona of the Crow that he takes on, he does because he himself can't necessarily deal with what's happening. And by creating this persona, he creates someone who can deal with what's going on.
Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below. With Robert Downey Jr. recently announced to play Dr. Doom, it's intriguing to recall his earlier connection to the character. Before his iconic role as Tony Stark, Iron Man, RDJ auditioned for Dr. Doom in the 2005 Fantastic Four film. Although he didn't get the part, Julian McMahon eventually played Dr. Doom, but now, nearly 2 decades later, RDJ is finally set to portray the infamous villain. This audition marks an interesting connection in his journey to becoming a Marvel Cinematic Universe central figure for the second time.
And should we talk about that? Because I think that's probably one of the greatest decisions in the history of Hollywood.
Robert had come in for a general on it, and I remember you had all met with him already for like Dr. Doom or something on another project. I think I think he had come through on a maybe Fantastic Four. Right.
Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below.
What's all this? You tell me, fuck stick, they're all addressed to you.
Tim Robbins almost wasn't Andy Dufresne in The Shawshank Redemption. Originally, the role was offered to several other high-profile actors of the time. The likes of Tom Hanks, Kevin Costner, and even Tom Cruise were all considered for the role at one point or another. Tom Hanks turned it down due to scheduling conflicts with Forrest Gump. And Kevin Costner had to decline because he was committed to filming Waterworld. Tom Cruise was nearly cast, but his preferred director, Rob Reiner, was unable to secure the rights to direct it, which made it a completely different movie under the newcomer Darabont. Johnny Depp, Nicolas Cage, and Charlie Sheen were all also considered for the role at different stages. Ultimately, Tim Robbins was chosen, delivering one of the best performances of his career. Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below. Before Ryan Reynolds was cast as Deadpool in X-Men Origins Wolverine, several other actors were considered for the role, most notably Scott Adkins, a British martial artist and actor known for his roles in action films like Undisputed 2 and Ninja. He was a strong candidate due to his impressive martial artist skills and overall physicality. But there were additional rumors that actors such as Dane Cook and Michael Rosenbaum were also considered in the running. Ultimately, it was Ryan Reynolds' dedication to and passion for the character that secured him the role. His portrayal in X-Men Origins Wolverine was a stepping stone that led to the highly successful standalone Deadpool films, where he fully embodied the character's unique blend of humor and combat prowess. Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below. It might seem like a no-brainer now after 4 movies and universal love and praise, but Keanu Reeves was not the original choice to play the role of Neo. The role was originally offered to Will Smith, who turned it down to star in Wild Wild West. Other actors like Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt were also considered. Reeves, however, brought a unique blend of physicality and introspective depth to the role, making Neo one of the most memorable characters in sci-fi history.
But it ain't like it would have been that, like Keanu was perfect. Lawrence Fishburne was perfect. If I had done it because I'm black, then Morpheus wouldn't have been black. Because they were looking at Val Kilmer. So I was going to be Neo, and Val Kilmer was going to be Morpheus. So I probably would have messed the Matrix up. I would have ruined it.
Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below.
You mention my name, we never do business again. Not for shoelaces or a stick of gum. You got that?
In The Shawshank Redemption, the role of Ellis Red Redding was played by Morgan Freeman, but the character was originally written as a white Irishman in the novella. The filmmakers chose Freeman for his authoritative voice and commanding presence, and they kept the nickname Red with a clever nod in the dialogue when Red quips, "Maybe it's because I'm Irish." Several actors were considered before Morgan Freeman was cast. Clint Eastwood, Harrison Ford, and, appropriately enough, Robert Redford were all among the names discussed. It was Freeman who would go on to take the role of Ellis Red Redding home.
Thank you, Mr.
Red. Name's Red.
Red. Why do they call you that?
Maybe it's because I'm Irish.
Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below.
It's showtime.
Michael Keaton, who played the titular character in 1988's Beetlejuice, only appears on screen for about 17.5 minutes out of the 92-minute film. Despite his limited screen time, Keaton's performance was so iconic and memorable that it left a lasting impact on audiences. This led to a cartoon series and a soon-to-be-released sequel, with Keaton, as well as Winona Ryder, returning to their original roles over 30 years later. On top of that, Keaton's portrayal of Beetlejuice was largely improvised, and he created many of the character's signature mannerisms and catchphrases on the spot. Beetlejuice has no doubt become one of the most beloved characters in film history. Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below.
Well, I'm sorry. That lost hand nearly killed me.
Daniel Craig historically sustained numerous injuries during his time as James Bond. In 2006's Casino Royale, his debut in the role, he knocked out 2 of his teeth during a fight scene. Then in 2008 for Quantum of Solace, he tore a shoulder muscle, requiring surgery. While filming Skyfall in 2012, he injured his knee, and then in Spectre in 2015, a fight scene with Dave Bautista led to a knee sprain, necessitating orthoscopic surgery. Finally, in No Time to Die in 2021, he injured his ankle, requiring surgery and weeks of rehab. Despite these injuries and his love-hate relationship with the role, Craig's highly regarded take on Bond has become a beloved bookend to a legendary character. Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below. The famous shower scene in Alfred Hitchcock's 1960 thriller Psycho, featuring Janet Leigh, is renowned for its intense and innovative editing. Although the scene only lasts for 45 seconds on screen, it required 7 days to film and involved 70 different camera setups. Hitchcock achieved the scene's suspenseful impact through rapid cuts and the suggestion of violence, rather showing the explicit gore. Bernard Herrmann's screeching violin score further amplified the tension and has become iconic in its own right. As for the sound effects, you ask? Well, the sound of a knife stabbing was created by plunging a knife into a cassava melon. Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below.
Yeah, George! Where's everybody?
In the 1999 film Stuart Little, a prop painting used as a set piece turned out to be an authentic and valuable piece of artwork. The painting, called Sleeping Lady with Black Vase, was created by Hungarian artist Robert Barany. It was believed to have been lost since the 1920s. A set designer for the movie found the painting in a California antique store and purchased it for a modest price, later using it in the film. Years later, a researcher recognized it while watching Stuart Little, and they contacted art experts. The painting was authenticated and later auctioned for over $285,000, bringing with it renewed attention to Barany's work and highlighting the serendipitous nature of art rediscoveries. Be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below.
I just go, Doc, I'm Judge. Shit.
During the filming of The Frighteners, directed by a pre-Lord of the Rings Peter Jackson, Michael J. Fox, renowned for his role as Marty McFly in the Back to the Future film series, often found himself slipping back into his iconic character. In a particularly memorable blooper during a driving scene, Fox mistakenly called out the name Doc, referring to Christopher Lloyd's character from Back to the Future. This recurring mix-up led to numerous humorous interruptions and became a favorite on the blooper reel. Despite these slips, Fox's performance in The Frighteners was praised for its blend of humor and intensity and marked one of his final film roles before his Parkinson's diagnosis was made public.
A little quicker than the Pony Express, huh, Doc? Whoa! I called him Doc. It's fucking backwards.
Rebound!
Doc! Doc, I did it again.
During the making of the 1972 classic The Godfather, in the famous scene where Don Vito Corleone, played by Marlon Brando, strokes a cat while discussing business, the cat was not originally part of the script. It was a stray cat found on the Paramount lot by director Francis Ford Coppola. The cat's presence added an unexpected softness to Brando's portrayal of the mafia boss, creating a contrast that made the character even more memorable. However, the cat's loud purring caused issues with Brando's dialogue, which had to be partially re-recorded. Speaking of dialogue, Marlon Brando was notorious for refusing to memorize his lines for many roles. Instead, he used cue cards and other methods to deliver his dialogue. This approach was part of his commitment to spontaneity and realism in his performances, which he felt could be stifled by rote memorization. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash like, and drop your thoughts in the comments below.
So they came with Star Wars, and I tried reading it. There's nothing against Star Wars. That is true. I thought, I don't know if this is.
When casting for the original Star Wars, George Lucas considered several actors for the now iconic role of Han Solo, including Al Pacino. Pacino, by the mid-1970s, had already made a significant mark in Hollywood with his roles in The Godfather and Serpico. He was one of the top actors considered for Han Solo. In interviews, Pacino mentioned that he found the Star Wars script confusing and was unsure about the film's potential. Ultimately, he turned down the role, expressing later that he didn't understand the script at the time. Instead, it would go to Harrison Ford, who was a relatively unknown actor. Ford had worked with Lucas previously on American Graffiti, and his portrayal of Han Solo catapulted him to stardom. Han Solo became one of the most beloved characters in the Star Wars saga, and a defining role in Ford's career. Did you know that Sean Connery was originally offered the role of Gandalf in Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings? The role ultimately went to Ian McKellen and could have significantly altered the film's dynamic. Connery reportedly turned down the part because he didn't understand the script or the novel, stating in interviews that he had never read J.R.R. Tolkien's work and found the plot confusing. This decision reportedly cost him up to $450 million from a combination of salary and a percentage of the film's profits, which were offered to entice him to join the production. Connery's decision not to participate led to McKellen's iconic portrayal, which became one of the most beloved aspects of the series. Feeling a missed opportunity, Connery was prompted to accept the lead role in The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, thinking it would be a similar fantastical and successful venture. He played Alan Quatermain in the 2003 film, which unfortunately did not meet the same critical or commercial success. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen would end up being Connery's last film before his retirement.
And that is an encouraging thought.
James Cameron's unproduced Spider-Man film in the early 1990s featured radical departures from the traditional Spider-Man lore, including Leonardo DiCaprio potentially cast as Peter Parker, and the introduction of organic web shooters, a concept later adopted in the Sam Raimi-directed Spider-Man films. Cameron's treatment envisioned Spider-Man as a more psychologically complex character, focusing heavily on the themes of human mutation and personal transformation. Cameron's project ultimately didn't proceed due to legal battles over the character's rights, but it significantly influenced the portrayal and narrative style of Spider-Man in cinema. The film was to include heavy visual effects and stylized action sequences characteristic of Cameron's directing style, aiming to push the boundaries of superhero films of that era, featuring innovative uses of Spider-Man's agility and Electro's electrical powers. Despite these ambitious elements, the project's development was halted, leaving many of these creative ideas to be retooled and explored in the resulting films.
John Travolta, Olivia Newton-John.
Few know that the immensely popular Grease had a sequel. Grease 2 was released in 1982, but didn't achieve the same critical or commercial success as its predecessor. The role of Stephanie Zanone, played by Michelle Pfeiffer, was one of Pfeiffer's early leading parts. It almost went to another emerging star at the time, Pat Benatar. Benatar was initially considered for the role due to her rising fame as a rock singer, which producers believed could give her a tougher, edgier presence in the sequel. However, the role ultimately went to Pfeiffer, marking a significant step in her career as an actress. Michelle Pfeiffer's performance is often highlighted as a standout element of Grease 2, despite the film's overall mixed reception, which saw a role reversal as Sandy's cousin arrives from England and is swooned by Pfeiffer's leader of the Pink Ladies. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment for more.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's winner and still king of the cage, the Wolverine.
Hugh Jackman's iconic role as Wolverine in the X-Men film series was a stroke of pure serendipitous luck. At first, the role was set for Dougray Scott, who was cast but had to step back due to scheduling conflicts with his filming for Mission Impossible 2, which extended beyond its shooting schedule. Additionally, Russell Crowe was approached for the Wolverine character but turned it down, recommending his friend Hugh Jackman for the part instead, ultimately leading to Jackman's casting, who of course went on to define the role across 9 films over more than 20 years, becoming one of the most beloved characters in the superhero genre, and earning a Guinness World Record in the process, along with the love and admiration of fans all over the world. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment for more.
Are you telling me that you built a time machine? Out of a DeLorean?
The iconic 1985 time travel movie Back to the Future, directed by Robert Zemeckis and produced by Steven Spielberg, originally had a very different concept for its time-traveling machine. Instead of the sleek and stylish DeLorean, the original script called for a time machine built from a lead-lined refrigerator that detonated an atomic blast whenever it was used. However, Zemeckis and the team changed it to a car to make the time travel scenes more functional, dynamic, and less dire for those left behind. They chose the DeLorean, a car with a unique and futuristic design because it perfectly embodied the film's innovative theme, becoming an iconic symbol of the movie in the process. And what of the nuking the fridge idea? Years later, it would be recycled into Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but that's a story for another time. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment for more.
Listen, Robbo, I'm real sorry about it. Maybe I'll send you a couple of t-shirts, smart boy. It happened that way. It went away, I guess, you know.
When Robin Williams lost the role of Joker to Jack Nicholson in 1989, he took it as a slight against him by Warner Brothers. When it came to the casting of the Riddler a few years later in Batman Forever, Williams played hard to get at the advice of his agent, believing that only he could bring a unique spin to the character. This strategy backfired when the producers chose Jim Carrey instead, who was rising rapidly in fame at the time due to his success in films like Ace Ventura and The Mask. Once the pendulum swung back into Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy, the Good Will Hunting star shared that he would love to play Joker's character, and after that role was cast to Heath Ledger for his iconic take. Williams would plead for another chance at Riddler or anyone else Nolan had to offer. Sadly, in the end, Williams would never join the ranks of any Batman rogues gallery.
And he goes, "You know, Robbo, now I have one for every decade." You bastard!
Robin Williams was incredibly interested in playing the Joker in Tim Burton's 1989 film, Batman. In the end, though, Williams was used as a bargaining chip by the producers, who expressed interest in him for the role with the hope of persuading Jack Nicholson to accept the offer instead. Nicholson would take the role. In fact, his legendary portrayal of the Joker not only redefined superhero villains, but also included a particularly interesting contractual decision. Nicholson negotiated a deal that not only paid him a substantial salary up front, but also a percentage of the film's total earnings, including merchandise sales. This savvy business move resulted in Nicholson earning over $60 million, making it one of the most lucrative deals in film history at the time. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment for more. When Michael Keaton was cast as the titular character in Tim Burton's 1989 film Batman, it caused a massive uproar likened to breaking the internet before the internet even existed. At the time, Keaton was primarily known for his comedic roles in films like Mr. Mom and Beetlejuice. Many fans and critics were skeptical that he could embody the dark, serious character of Batman, given his comedic background. His portrayal brought a balance of intensity and subtlety to the already dual nature of the role, setting a standard that influenced future adaptations of the character. Keaton has since become iconic in the role, leading to nostalgic praise and hopes for a late career return to the character in the form of a Batman Beyond live-action film. With the failure of 2023's The Flash and cancellation of Batgirl, not to mention the dislike of Keaton's portrayal by current studio head James Gunn, it's questionable if we will ever see Keaton in the role again. Subscribe, like, and comment for more. The 1989 film, Wired, was mired by difficulties with distribution, as well as the combined efforts of John Belushi's family and friends to stop the film's production. The inability to secure copyright licenses for the majority of Belushi's work on Saturday Night Live and films was also an issue that would stifle the movie's production, causing the writers to create fictional versions of well-known skits. Unable to get the rights to any of the Saturday Night Live samurai skits, they resorted to a fictional one where he plays baseball with his swords, and another skit where he plays Bob Woodward being confronted by a Richard Nixon Conehead character. As a result, Wired opened to poor reviews and achieved little commercial success, quickly fading from theaters and remaining a sore point for those who knew and loved Belushi.
Wait a minute. Why are you telling me all this? My book deal. You scratch my hiney, I'll scratch your hiney,
Delta House is a 1979 American TV sitcom based on the film National Lampoon's Animal House. The series focuses on the rowdy Delta Tau Chi fraternity at the fictional Faber College, featuring John Vernon as Dean Wormer and Stephen Furst as Flounder, reprising their film roles. Though it was initially planned, John Belushi, who played the iconic character Bluto in the film, did not reprise his role. His absence was significant, as Belushi's portrayal of Bluto was a central element of the film's success. At the time, Belushi was busy with his career on Saturday Night Live and in films. In his absence, the character Jim Blotto Blutarski was introduced. Played by Josh Mostel, Blotto is the younger brother of Bluto, continuing the Blutarski legacy at Faber College. Premiering on ABC in January 1979, the show faced challenges with ratings and network content restrictions, leading to its cancellation after only 13 episodes.
Hey, Mo, what do you mean by slapping me like that? Sorry, babe. Next time, make it harder so they can hear it in the back row.
Besides his role as John Belushi in the controversial 1989 film Wired, Michael Chiklis also played another comedy legend a decade later, portraying Curly Howard in the 2000 television biopic The Three Stooges. Mel Gibson was also involved in the production, but not as an actor. He served as an executive producer for the film. Gibson was a fan of The Three Stooges, and his involvement helped bring attention to the project. His role as an executive producer was crucial in getting the film made, demonstrating his admiration for the Stooges and his desire to see their story told on screen. Chiklis would of course go on to join the early Marvel Universe with 2 Fantastic Four films as Ben Grimm, The Thing, as well as an extensive run as a corrupt cop and lead actor in the TV series The Shield. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash like, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Sylvester Stallone's classic underdog film, Rocky, has a long-forgotten connection to John Belushi. While Belushi himself was not involved in Rocky, the film's director John G. Avildsen was. After winning the Oscar for Best Director for Rocky in 1976, Avildsen would later work with John Belushi in the 1978 comedy film Neighbors. However, their collaboration was marked by tension and discord. Belushi and Avildsen reportedly did not get along during the filming, disagreeing on the tone and direction of the film, contributing to a reportedly hostile production environment in the process, not living up to the expectations set by either man's previous successes. This strained relationship may have impacted the film's outcome, as Neighbors failed critically and financially at the box office. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment for more. Jack Nicholson, known for his chilling performance as Jack Torrance in The Shining, to the comedic and endearing role of Melvin Udall in As Good as It Gets. Nicholson's range has allowed him to capture every nuance of his characters making him one of the most respected actors in Hollywood. He has won 3 Academy Awards and been nominated 12 times, making him one of the most nominated actors in the history of the Oscars. But it is not only his acting that has turned heads over the years. There is also a unique personal revelation about his family that has grounded the legendary actor with his fans. For most of his early life, Jack believed his grandmother was his mother, and that his actual mother was his sister. This family secret was kept to shield him from the stigma associated with his mother's youth and unwed status at his birth. He only discovered the truth about his family in 1974, thanks to the work of a journalist from Time magazine. Sadly, by then, both his mother and grandmother had passed away.
No, this is one of those drop it and leave me alone things.
Chris Farley was originally cast as the voice of Shrek in the beloved animated film by DreamWorks. He had recorded nearly 85% of the dialogue for the movie before his untimely death in 1997. Farley's Shrek was envisioned differently from the character we now know, portrayed more as a teenage ogre who didn't fit in with his more conventionally fearsome parents. After Farley's passing, the role was reimagined and ultimately voiced by Mike Myers, who introduced a distinctive Scottish accent to the character, contributing significantly to its iconic and endearing nature.
People take one look at me and go, "Ah, help, run! A big, stupid, ugly ogre."
People see me and they go, "Ah, help! A big, stupid, stinky, smelly, ugly ogre!"
The shift from Farley to Myers led to a complete overhaul of the character, transforming Shrek into the beloved green ogre known today. Judith Belushi Pisano, John Belushi's wife, has had a multifaceted career deeply intertwined with her late husband's life and work. Starting as an art assistant at the National Lampoon, she later worked as a production assistant on the National Lampoon Radio Hour. She co-authored books, designed Blues Brothers merchandise, and produced various tributes to John Belushi following his death. Judy also wrote Samurai Widow, a memoir recounting her life with John. She also co-wrote the book, and later documentary, Belushi, recounting his life through interviews with friends and family. It was their meeting, though, that encapsulates their true love for one another.
John was going to be a senior, and we took out some boats, a group of kids, and we were having a water fight, and he came back and hit me with the oar and showed much concern. Phoned me that night to see how my arm was. It was okay. Quick conversation. He phoned the next night and said, "How's your arm?" Got a laugh out of me. And finally he invited me to homecoming dance. I went with him and he became king.